going to stay conservative, run the ball here on third down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Kicking with the Crew. Just want to tell everybody, sorry for the delay. No, we got started pretty late here. We had a bunch of things come up last minute, and then finally going to get things started for you guys. But shout out to my guy, Trev, who's been ready. He's been waiting on us. But appreciate everybody who's coming in. I'm going to get this shared around. But how you doing tonight, Trev?
Good, man. Hey, real quick, I want to wish a very happy Veterans Day to everyone that has served, is serving, or will serve even, I guess. But just happy Veterans Day, whatever branch you served. If you're watching tonight and you served in any branch of the military, drop a comment. Let us know where you served, what you did, how long you were in, all of the above. I know I'm in the Army right now. Our other host, Matt, who will be on in a little bit, he's also in the Army. So, yeah, big respect to everybody that served, man. Happy Veterans Day to all y'all. And welcome to the show.
Yeah, for real. Appreciate you. Appreciate Matt for serving. Appreciate y'all. Best country to live in and be a part of, man.
Yes, sir.
And so just appreciate y'all for serving and giving up y'all time and half y'all lives, to protect the country. So appreciate y'all. Salute to all the vets out there, man.
Now, speaking of serving and everything, I know. So last year, I spent a lot of time in Germany. We deployed over there, and whole thing, right? But we spent a lot of time in Germany, and of course tomorrow that's where we're playing the Patriots. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this international broadcast, how it's going to go. Make sure y'all set your alarms, don't sleep in, because the game starts 8:30 Central Time. So it's going to be a early Colts game tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, people shouldn't be too surprised by it or late or anything like that, just because the NFL has been doing this for quite a few weeks in a row now. All the London series, and then they just had a Germany game the week before with Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins, who just played last week. So hopefully everybody's getting pretty used to it. But not gonna lie, waking up that early in the morning,
it's a little tough.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to, yeah, man. I won't be mad about it when it's gone. So. Shout out to everybody out there in Germany and London, though. Y'all
very cool, man.
Ones. Y'all come out, y'all supporting, growing the game. Everybody says that basketball is the biggest sport in the world. I love basketball,
soccer,
but I'm a football guy myself. So the bigger that we can get it and grow the game, definitely appreciate all y'all out in London and Germany and welcoming everything.
Yeah, all over, man. It's
like
cool.
Like the name.
It's been cool seeing this international push from the NFL, really just getting recognized on the global stage for the game that we all know and love in America. But man, just seeing especially countries like Germany that just would have a natural appreciation for it. I mean, they already watch rugby and everything, so it's not too far separate of a sport. So it's just cool seeing it grow, man.
Absolutely. So as we start to fill in here, definitely appreciate everybody. Sorry for the late start. Like I said, we had some things going on.
Life happens, man.
So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get it started, man. As everybody can see here, you look at Trev's name there. Kenny Moore strikes twice. And you see my name, Kenny, 2 times. Had to go ahead and put his jersey on, man. Kenny Moore with 2 pick sixes of Bryce Young.
It's insane.
Let's go ahead and start with that, Trev. What were your thoughts on Kenny Moore's game?
I mean, you can't say enough about the guy, but I will say, I mean, since we drafted him, we've always attributed every nickname to this guy.
Not drafted, picked up from
Are you right? You're right. He's been there so long, it feels like we drafted him. But man, we've always said, lightning in a bottle. This guy's lightning. He's electric. He's a little Energizer bunny, all the above. And sure enough, what do you know? Lightning strikes twice last week in Carolina with 2 pick sixes. I mean, the dude is the key to our secondary. He's I'll say the best slot corner in the league. I don't think there's any debate. He's him, man. That's who he is.
Man, absolutely. You love to see it. And this is a guy that a lot of Colts fans kind of were talking about. Should he be out of the building after last year? He got his contract a few years ago. I want to say about 4 years ago, getting paid as one of the top slot corners in the league. Showed out, felt like he outplayed that contract of I want to say about $6 million on average a year due to some other contracts. And then he had a down year with Gus Bradley in his first year, and a lot of Colts fans didn't like that he was asking for more money, and then played bad right after that. So to see him bounce back in this fashion, to be playing as far as statistical wise goes, any quarterback that's targeting the receiver that Kenny Moore is guarding, they're having their worst percentage of the year with that receiver are targeting against Kenny Moore. And then they come out and have that type of game and have two pick sixes. Like Michael Pittman Jr. said it during the game. Like, you lucky to get 2 to 4 interceptions a year, but to get 2 pick sixes
in a game?
It's only been done 10 times in the last 23 years. So shout out to Kenny Moore, man. Shout out to him putting in work. And then shout out to Alubi Segun, who went out and got his first interception. We had a lot of people get there first in this game. Eric Johnson getting his first sack. Adatami Adabare getting his first sack. Hi, Matt's mom. Appreciate you coming in. What's up, Joey?
What's up, Chad? Chad's always first, man. I respect
always
it.
First.
Always first.
Even an hour late, man, still first, man.
Joey, I appreciate that, man.
Happy Federation for y'all. Y'all couldn't see me out there, but yeah, salute
appreciate
to y'all. But yeah, man, Kenny Moore turned it up to another level, man. We needed that kind of game out of the guys, obviously. Yeah, so let's just get to the next point real quick here. So as we got the name title of the show, is Did We Overreact? So what this point came from was I wish Matt would have been here to get this show started with us, because me and him kind of went back and forth a little bit about it, had a difference of opinion. I do want to say Trev was one of the calmer heads on this whole situation. Pretty much what I was saying was because I was pretty pissed off about the Saints game. I won't lie to you guys. I was pissed off. I was ready to fire everybody. I was upset. Just thought it was a team that I felt like we should dominate just the same way we did the Carolina Panthers, and we did not. We did not look like the team that we should be. And so I was pretty upset about it, and then we come out and we play well. And I'm not overreacting to beating the Panthers. Just saying that I felt like this team should dominate teams that they should beat. And so that's where the question came from. I felt a lot of Colts fans felt the same way I did. So let me hear from Trev on this. Did we overreact to the Colts losing to the New Orleans Saints just 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think as a fan base in general, I think Colts fans are very quick to overreact to things. I think we're a little bit spoiled coming from the Peyton Manning era, and even the short bit we had of the Andrew Luck era, where we're just dominant all the time and just expecting to dominate teams, and we're not there anymore. We're not that team. So naturally, Colts fans are overreacted, but I do think we overreacted to the Saints loss. New Orleans is a team that they have the talent, but they hadn't put it together all year, which is why we expected to just roll over them. But obviously, they put it together against us, right? They found our weaknesses, aka our cornerbacks, and they just lit them up the whole game. The reason I didn't want to jump to let's get rid of everybody, let's just trash the whole thing, is because realistically, if Juju Brents is out there, if Jones is out there, if Isaiah Rodgers doesn't gamble the season away, like there's so many ifs that led to that moment. But if we had a competent DB back there who's not wearing number 39, you know what I mean? It's a completely different game, because every big play they had was just exploiting those dudes in the back end, and there was just nothing that we didn't have any answer for it. So I didn't want to overreact and say, let's get rid of every player we have on the roster. Let's scrap all these contracts. Let's tear it down. And I understood that reaction because it was a frustrating loss. It's a game we should have won. I'm not going against that at all. But yeah, I didn't want to put too much into it, because if Juju is healthy, if we have some more DBs out there that just aren't traffic cones, that game looks very different for us. So that's just where I was at with it.
Yeah, I can surely feel that. And just like Chris D. Kaiser here saying, this is pretty much where I've been and what made me overreact, because the whole time that we've had conversations in our group chats and amongst Colts fans, we've always thought this team was more talented than what we showed, especially after last year's showing. Right. Pretty much everybody wrote us off and said, the Colts might win 2-3 games next year. And if you've been in our group chat, I mean, I don't know what type of most Colts fans are out there, because we are the cardiac Colts, so most people panic just a lot sooner than it should be. But we were on the end of the spectrum that we played down last year, and we had a lot of changeover with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, that we thought, this team might be okay. They might be in the middle, somewhere around 6 wins or so. But at the same time, we thought that we had enough talent that we seen from 2022, 2021, that we thought, or not 2022, I'm sorry, 2020 and 2021, that we thought this team was a quarterback away the entire time. And then we come out and see what Anthony Richardson was able to do. We seen Gardner Minshew come in and get wins. And we just thought this team was ready for the next step. We thought we were
pumped up,
in that middle tier. And then just to see like how we were coming out against the Cleveland Browns, number one in every statistical category. This is the best defense. The Colts might not
light
score at all, blah, 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 blah. We killed them on the scoreboard. But Myles Garrett tore us apart. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, God, geez.
And they got an assist too. They got an assist from the Zebras, but we already talked about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I still got beef with them. So just coming in against the Panthers and then going out and showing that we can dominate the way we're supposed to. And then that goes into our next segment of people don't feel like the offense played as well because we only had 180 yards of total offense or something like that or whatever. But it was really one of those situations where it was like, you didn't really need your offense. Just run the ball, just get time off the clock. Be
consistent, man.
So I was never one of the guys to sit there and overreact to the offense. Where are you feeling about that as far as Kenny Moore and the defense had a great day, but our offense wasn't there?
It's almost like we've said this all year, man. It's like the entire team isn't firing on all cylinders at the same time, right? Like we've had wins like we did against Baltimore where it was defense. They just dominated that game. Defense and special teams won us that game with Baltimore. And then we've had games like Cleveland where there was no defense, right? But the offense was lighting it up and kept us in that game. So it's just like you get the feeling that, man, if we could get both sides of the ball clicking on all cylinders at the same time, man, we'd be rolling. We'd be a great team. So it's encouraging to not be far away. Now, I do want to go back to Chris' comment about should be 6-3 because I think that is a little bit of the just natural falling into, like, I don't want to say overreacting because it's not necessarily, but like as you watch the season, you're like, man, I should have won that one. But I think if at the beginning of the season you told Colts fans coming off of a 4-win season last year, hey man, at midseason this year, at week 9, you're going to be 4-5 and you're going to be in every game with a chance to win it. I think every Colts fan would have taken that. Like, so it's important to have that perspective of like, yes, we're frustrated, we're not getting it done, but at the same time, we're in a process, right? We're a young team. Most of these guys playing do not have a ton of experience playing, and especially not with each other. Like hardly anyone has experience playing with each other, right? Because we change quarterbacks every freaking year and then in season. So I don't know, man. It's easy to get caught up in it when we're so competitive and we're in every game. But let's just remember it's a young team. It's still building. So everyone's a blessing, really. We're already at our win total of last year. So it's encouraging.
Absolutely. Got to love to see it. Nathan is saying here, do you know if Tony Brown will play? I believe he was in concussion protocol as of last week, so I don't know if you're asking because of his play the week before that or from the concussion, but not exactly sure. I know only 2 players have had a concussion and come back to play the next week, so we'll see how that goes.
The question is, does it make a difference if he plays?
I mean, he's a good special teamer, so I'd love to have him there. Nathan also says, finally, the offensive line is healthy for the first time since I can't remember that week. Yeah, I believe that was like week 2.
Braden's been in and out a lot. Yeah,
it's good to get him back. What's up, Christina? Appreciate you coming in.
Now, O-line has played well despite those injuries, though, man. Freaking Will Fries has stepped up greatly. Our rookie, Freeland, thank you. He's played really well against all-star freaking defensive end. So we've weathered the storm while Smith has been injured.
Shout out to that boy Will Fries because we were hard on him all summer. I mean, up until Rams week, we finally gave that boy some love. So
he's been
shout out to Will Fries. He's been playing. Dave Stewart just said we eliminated the short fields by not turning it over. That made it much easier for the D. The high turnover games caused the D to look terrible. Absolutely agree. I mean, some of that was still on defense. You do want to stop some people, but totally agree. When you're forever on a short field, you're not going to play well. I mean, if you can, I mean, shout out to your defense. You're elite, top of the line, but there's only 5 of those that are going to be that high, and then everyone after that is just kind of 6 through 10 because they have to be higher than someone else. So yeah, playing on those short fields is going to be tough to sit there and stop people all day, and then you get exhausted as it goes on. So it's not something where you don't ever get fatigued. This isn't Madden where you can just try and keep flipping the field. Players actually get tired out there, so it's not something you keep playing on.
And we've been saying it all year too, man. When we don't turn the ball over, we're a great freaking team. When we turn it over, we lose. Like it is clear as day. When we don't turn the ball over, we have won every game. When we have a turnover, we lose every game. So it couldn't be more clear, man. I agree completely. Seeing those 2 turnovers from Kenny Moore was fantastic, and seeing 0 turnovers from Gardner Minshew was even better almost. So yeah, it was a great day last week.
Yeah. I think our only turnover was the fumble, the muff punt by Isaiah McKenzie. That was our only one. And I don't even believe that cost us. I think they went 3 and out right after that. So
scary too, man. As soon as you see him muff the punt, you're like, man, here we go again. Like I almost turned the game off there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched that. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. I texted the group chat. I was like, I don't know if I can do it another week, man.
Yeah, dude. I tell you, like when I watch other punt returners go for different teams, I mean, and I watch them return punts, I'm kind of just like, okay, he's gonna catch it or whatever. It might be a fumble. When it's my team punt returning, I'm like, please don't drop it. Please don't drop it. Please don't drop it. Okay, he got it secured.
That's it.
He got it secured. Okay, cool. Like I just never want a special teams turnover. Like it's like something about my team being on special teams and going out and see them have to perform. But yeah, Isaiah McKenzie's been giving us heart attacks since preseason.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, all the criticism that Alec Pierce has received, maybe we shift fire a little bit, and maybe Isaiah McKenzie needs some of that criticism, man. He hasn't been great for us. I can put it lightly like that, but man, I haven't been super impressed.
Yeah, Chris is asking the same question. Can anyone else? Chris Kaiser is asking, can anyone else return besides McKenzie? So yeah, Tony Brown is actually one of those guys that can return. Dallas Flowers was also one of those guys. Who else did we have back there that could return? I'm not too sure after that.
Honestly, I think
it was Flowers, but Flowers had the torn Achilles, so I'm not sure who else was there.
Yeah, I don't know much about Isaiah McKenzie. I don't know if he's been if he was a return specialist in Buffalo or not, or just in his past at all. But obviously he hasn't made any highlights or anything for us there. Be that would have made. But I think just in general with your return guys, anyone that would go on the hands team that has a little burn to their speed that can actually blow by guys, send it. As long as they're not going to drop the freaking ball, send it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at that point they just have a guy out there that they knew that can secure the ball. I don't think it'd be try and make returns at that point, but I'm not sure who's on the depth chart after McKenzie there. Yeah. So
it would be nice though to add a guy that's just a return specialist. I mean the teams that have those always end up having lethal returns for touchdowns and everything in the punt and touchdown. Nyheim Hines used to be that for us. So it'd be nice to have a guy like that back there again.
Yeah, it's tough though, because it's tough to have a return specialist these days when you can just fair catch and get the ball to the 25.
Yeah, the rules don't really favor it.
So
not a fan of that, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like we got some comments in there. No, it's just about Josh Downs. Really let him rest and get healthy. All right. Well, all right. So outside of the defense, being strong, staying strong to that, and then the offense kind of just moving the game, moving the ball along. Keeping turnovers down and just moving it along. What else did you take away from that game versus Carolina?
Man, we definitely struggled to get the run game going a little bit, which was uncharacteristic for us. But I don't know if it was just something that maybe Reich. For as much grief as we give him, he does have experience with Jonathan Taylor and this O-line, so maybe he had some things schemed up for us defensively. It sure seemed like they kind of knew where we were going in the run game. At least we didn't break any big ones. I believe Taylor was averaging like 2.93. Like it wasn't his regular, explosive numbers. But it wasn't like a huge red flag for us. It was just kind of like, man, I thought we'd get that going a little bit more against a really bad team, and we just didn't. So that was a little bit concerning for me, but I expect to bounce back tomorrow with that aspect.
Yeah, I personally didn't take too much away from that just because I knew for a fact that it was like Carolina was like, we're gonna do exactly what gets doesn't or gets us killed each week, and that was to stop the run and then to run the ball. So they tried to flip it. Frank Wright tried to, use what usually works against them on us, and so I feel like that's kind of what that was. They were crowding the box a lot. It just wasn't really too much that they tried to do. They tried to put all their eggs in one basket, and hey, it kind of worked for them. We
for a little bit.
Shane Steichen didn't want to force Gardner Minshew into passing situations. He didn't really feel the need to be aggressive. I did want to say that one of the biggest things I took away from this game was that the fact that it didn't come from our team. It came from our former head coach, Frank Wright, over there. They are really struggling. He had a presser that I'd feel terrible to be on the opposite end of that. And we had to see some of that towards the end here when it started to come down. So I think that was my biggest takeaway from that one.
You almost feel bad for the guy. I mean, I think we all were pretty unanimous when he got fired. Is like, man, he's a good guy. He's a good leader, but he's lost the locker room. Obviously, he's not a great play caller. So it was time for a change for us. I was hoping he'd have a little bit more success in Carolina, but man, it's almost depressing watching him just bundle it every week.
Man, for real. So I think that was the biggest takeaway for me. Obviously, Kenny Moore getting the 2 pick sixes. Defense was just firing on all cylinders.
That's the whole game right there.
I just more so felt like this game was more so get right for us. Go be the team you should beat. That was my biggest takeaway from it. You got something?
Yeah, I was just going to tie into that. I think tomorrow is an even bigger bounce back of, hey, let's bounce back to 500 because this is another team, and we'll get more into it later, but this is another team that's down on their luck, terrible offense. You know what I mean? Like, everything lines up for us there. But anyways, Joshua says, definitely best part of the week. Love the show. Try to catch you guys every week. Keep it up. Hey, Josh, we really appreciate that, man. Thank you,
Appreciate you for real, Josh. Appreciate all of you guys who come through to see us every week. Dave Stewart is saying third and long on D is the worst for us. Third and short, we give it too much ground, and it seems like the opponent's offense converts too often.
Dude, I've been screaming that. Like, I am never comfortable with a third and long. I don't know what it is, but we just constantly it's that middle of the field every time. Like, I don't know why if we're gonna drop into zone coverage, why the mic isn't there, but no one's there. Like, the middle of the field is just wide open on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and they get an easy curl right there every time. It kills me.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where, like, if you look at it statistically, when you go if you're at a 3rd and 7 or longer, it makes your chances so much harder. When you were in a 3rd and 4 or shorter, your percentages of completing a third down are like 70%, something like that. So it's just one of those things where you really just don't want to be 3rd and long, and that's where we got stuck a lot. In the past, I didn't really pay attention too much in the Carolina game just because it looked like we had dominated so much on offense. On defense. So it just wasn't really one of those things that I watched too much. But you definitely don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that gray area is kind of that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 area. So anything after that, that's when you
and that's what's killer for us too, man. Is that, like,
shout out to my cousin, appreciate you.
A little late today, man, but we're here. That's what's killer about it, is because we're not getting them on offense, and then we're giving them up on defense. So I think that's a huge part of why we're under 500 right now. But anyway, Chris Kaiser says, will Frank make it to week 17? Yeah. I mean, realistically, probably shouldn't. But you come to the question of, like, with a rookie quarterback who's supposed to be a franchise guy moving forward, do you want to throw him in that turmoil in his first year, switching head coaches and everything? So I think at this point in the season, you've already accepted you're not making a playoff run, right? So there is the possibility that they just see it out and then make the switch in the offseason. But yeah, I absolutely think Frank is not going to be coaching the Carolina Panthers next year, and they're crazy if they run it back with him.
Yeah, I personally don't think he will be, just because Tepper. I mean, he's already meeting with the guy after every game. I mean, if you got to meet with your owner after every game to talk
Yeah.
about what could be done better, I mean,
Fighting for your life every week.
Yeah, that's just a stressful life. And I think Tepper is kind of regretting the hire that he made in the first place, letting Steve Wilkes walk out of the building after they went on like a 5-game winning streak or something like that. Got close to making the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I don't want to crap on Frank too much. I already know he got it tough. He's a great guy, but just head coach, just not the fit for him, man. He should have. I wish he would have pulled the Doug Peterson route and just took a year off and really go work on what he should get better on and whatnot. And he's already gave up play calling duties this year, so just a lot going in a bad way for him. So.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, it's a result-based business. So the fact of the matter is he has one win on the season, so it's not a good look. He ain't going to make it long like that. Dave says, living in Buffalo, he's really liked, great guy, just might be hit his level. I think he's saying his max level as an offensive coordinator. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the case, man. But even then, like, his play calling has not been good at all. So, but I'm glad you guys like him up in Buffalo, man. He was a good quarterback for y'all for a little bit. So Bill Belichick won't be back next year with Patriots. That is the rumor swirling, right?
I hate this so much, dude. I hate this so much. I tell you, like, I got so much hate for the Patriots, but the fact that like people want to just fire a Hall of Fame coach, like a 6-time Super Bowl champion, like this dude, like he should at least have 2 0-17 seasons under his belt before he's like, hey, fire him, can him, get him out of the building. Like, you can't, like,
there's no grace period.
Yeah, bro. Like, you can't possibly think that you were just gonna keep going on runs like after Brady left and some of the players started getting changed out. They didn't though. They made
I mean they thought that is what I mean.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see what would give you that expectation. Every run comes to an end where you have to start over and rebuild, and you're just going to be bad for a little bit. Like, every team goes through it. It's just crazy to think that's what I have no idea, but I just think the fact that they just ready to jump off Bill Belichick, like, I mean, obviously the Patriots are in that kind of mode where you want to rebuild and stuff like that, but like, just to be like, all right, let's kick him out and go do something else. Like, at least give him Brad Stevens' route. Force him to go be the GM, hire a new coach, and start over that way or something. Yeah. And then if you want to let him go from GM or something, just let him slowly walk away. But as much as I hate the Patriots, I hate to see this for Bill Belichick. I think he deserves to go out with more grace than this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. However, I will say, if some of these rumors that I read on Twitter are true, or X, are true about if the Colts beat the Patriots tomorrow, they might fire Bill Belichick. Man, that would that'd be pretty full circle for most Colts fans, right? Of getting beat by this guy for years and years, and we finally send him packing. So I would take it. I'd be happy to see it. I mean, as a football fan, yeah, I think they're being a little crazy. They think they need to give Bill a little bit more time, but as a Colts fan, to hell with him. Get him out of here.
Yeah, Dave is saying would like to see what our third down defensive numbers are. I'm trying to find some numbers on here. It looks like we rank NFL team opponent third down conversion percentage. So it looks like right now, this year, we are sitting at 13th overall, 37.88% on third down. The last 3 games have been 38.64. And it looks like our last game, so against the Panthers, was 43%.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're so yeah, sitting about 13th on their conversion rate. Can't really get all of those numbers. Try to just get something for you real quick that I can get. That's from teamrankings.com. So just check out that one.
Yeah, pretty average in that avenue. I honestly I expected worse because just watching as a fan, it feels like we give him up all the time, you know. But I guess what the numbers reflect is we're just pretty average there.
Yeah. So that's actually pretty good. Looks like the New York Jets are the lock at number 1 on defense. But their stats are lacked on stat views. You got to pay for those, and I ain't paying for those.
Hell no.
But yeah, so looks like we're not doing too terrible. But Dave, if you go back and think about it, if you think about all the downs that we've played, the Colts have been on a lot of short fields for their third down. So
that is true.
But yeah, my cousin is coming in here. CJ Llewellyn is saying, I know this is a Colts thing, but I think we got hope with Dobbs, man. Shout out to that boy Dobbs, man.
He's a beast.
I be messing with you and hating on your Vikings. We be going at it and whatnot. But for real, shout out to that boy Dobbs, man. I hope y'all get that boy Jetta's back. Y'all need to trade him this way to Indianapolis. But I think when Jetta's come back, y'all got some real. Y'all do got a little bit of hope. He made it work. Obviously, that's against the Atlanta Falcons, so it's not really all that great. But again, an NFL win is an NFL win. So Dobb was doing very well for Arizona in the first place, and their roster definitely ain't y'all roster. So, yeah, shout out to that boy Dobbs. I hope he keep grinding because it's good to see somebody like him get some wins, man.
What a guy.
Dave is saying post game, you can see Jim really wanted to win. Hey, if you think about it, right? I'm gonna let Trev go on after this real quick. But if you think back and remember, when we lost to the Philadelphia Eagles, he had to watch Nick Sirianni walk around the Colts Stadium and say, "This is for Frank Wright."
Yeah.
So you could tell how Jim was feeling.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. But man, if I ever see somebody dancing like Jim was dancing in the locker room to freaking Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares, I mean, I love the guy, but that's a roast on site. I can't let that slide. I got to get on your ass for that. That was something. But you know what? I'm glad he's happy for the team, man. I'm glad he's feeling pumped up, not trying to fire anybody. So let's go, Jim.
Man. I hate the Bill, or David saying I hate the Bills, so I hope the Bills last long enough this year again to beat their ass.
Fair enough.
Man,
I hope all
Bills,
AFC teams lose. So
the Bills, that's an ugly one, man. That window shut down real quick, man. I don't want to say it's officially done, but man, that window.
Not as sharp this year, that's for sure. What else we got?
Let me see. Josh was saying, would you guys like to have the bye week earlier or later, like it's been the last couple of years? So, as a fan, I think about week 7 through 9 is a good bye. But just listening, so shout out to Zaire Franklin and the show called The Trenches. I don't know if any of you Colts fans have followed it, but it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and stuff like that, wherever you get your podcast, or YouTube. They do their weekly show, Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed, Zaire Franklin's line brother. I'm forgetting his name right now, so apologize to him. And they do have another lady on the show that used to work for the Colts as well as part of the social media team. But yeah, he says that they like the late bye. Because basically, if you think about it, the late bye just helps when you're going midway through the season. You're looking down the line for when your bye is coming. But at the same time, you kind of dang, can it hurry up? But I think it's good for some teams because it's like if you look at the 49ers, where you start on a roll and everybody's calling you the best team in the NFL, and then boom, you get injury, and then you go on a bye week, and you go on a 0-3 losing streak. You kind of need a bye to wake up. Then you look at the Bengals, where you start out and you guys are already hurt, and you need a bye week just to get some rest. But then you come back from your bye, and Jamar Chase got a back injury. So, if I'm talking from fan wise, I think early bye is better just because we get more Colts football. We don't have to worry about the bye week anymore. But for the players, I'm going to guess for them about mid to later is better.
Yeah, I think we got it the perfect time, man. If I'm not mistaken, it's right after this Patriots game is the bye week, right?
Yes, we chose to do it that week. So if you think back when the Jaguars were coming back from London, they chose not to take their bye
and beat our ass.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing. God damn it! But yeah, man, I think we got it right, especially coming off of international travel. It just works out. But the timing of it, I think, is perfect, man. Ideally, right, if we can go 5-5, be 500 going into the bye week. From that point on, you have 7 games left. Try to run the table, whatever you got to do. You have that long period from Monday morning, all the way through that following week to get right, get healthy, rest a little bit, practice, self-evaluate, whatever you got to do to make that push to the playoffs, right? So I think anywhere from, like you were saying, week 7 to week 10, but I'd push it even further, like week 9 to week 11 or 12. I don't know when they're allowed to, like when the furthest back is they can push it, but yeah, I'd like it in that mid-season to almost late season, kind of in November range, because that's just the perfect time to get ready for a playoff push. So yeah, I think we got it great this year. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on the timeline for the bye weeks, but I think it has to be by week 13.
That makes sense.
I think it has to be before like the 5.
That's a late bye week if you wait till week 13, man.
That means you damn near waiting for the playoffs. Like,
that might be a little too late.
You better be a number 1 seed if you got to buy that late.
And yeah, this too, man, because I would hate to put it that late, and then you take that time to kind of rest and recuperate, and then all of a sudden you got 4 games left until you go to the playoffs. So that's almost just like jumping back into it too much. So I think we got it perfect, man. Hopefully go in after 10 games at 500. If not, 2 games off of it, but I don't even want to think about that. But yeah, that's perfect timing. I'll take that bye week 10 times out of 10.
For sure. Yeah. It was one of those things where I used to not like it, but I'm like, no, okay, I can deal with it.
Yeah. Ooh, especially with the amount of injuries we have. Yeah, Dave hit the nail on the head here. Bye will help with the injuries we have. Yeah, man. Like we can't stay healthy, especially with freaking concussions, man. So many guys have got concussions this year. It's crazy, especially with the NFL putting the spotlight on concussions. Now you wonder how many of those are legit concussions and how many of those are trainers being, overly cautious with it. But either way, if it's listed as a concussion, it just feels like a crazy amount this year. But yeah, man, hopefully we can get everybody healthy for this late season playoff push as long as we're still in the picture.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely need that bye week. I'm glad to see that it's coming real quick. I'm also happy that the Patriots don't have Matt Judon, so we can actually start getting ready to head that way into that matchup with the New England Patriots. So
yeah, man.
Definitely happy for the bye week. Definitely happy to kind of get some of these injuries to relax and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and get it started. What you looking forward to, Trev? And then in the old rivalry between the Colts and the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Judon wasn't slated to play, so that's huge for us.
He's on IR with a torn bicep, I believe. That happened in week 5 or something like that.
I know that. I mean, obviously, you never wish injury on anybody, but not having a game plan for Judon is a headache relieved, because that dude's an absolute monster. But man, I want to see the offense light it up, obviously, but more than anything, this New England offense that we're facing has not got anything done this year, right? They've been a mess, just like last year they were a mess. There's questions about, is Mac Jones even an NFL caliber quarterback? Is he going to be somebody's backup, so on and so forth? More than anything, I want to be the team that kicks somebody while they're down. I don't live that way as a person, but as a football team, I want to kick them while they're down. I want Kenny Moore to get 2 more pick sixes. I want to strip sack this guy all day. Like I just want to overload that issue that they're having and just blow them up, man. I don't see any real threats that they have. Of course, we said the same thing before and it blew up in our face. So I'm not going into this game overconfident because everyone believes the Colts should win this game. We believe the Colts should win this game. The Patriots have nothing encouraging going for them, which means it's a trap game. So I'm not.
Well, they got that top draft pick going for them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and as a team that's still trying to fight for something, you hope they're already out in their season and they're just playing for the draft pick because then we can just roll them over. But I don't think players ever go that way. So it's always going to be a fight, man. But yeah, I fully expect to just roll over this team. I really want to see the run game get back on track after last week, so we don't have to worry about anything in that aspect. How about you, DeMarco?
Yeah, man. Yeah, just like Trev just said. I mean, typically, depending on what kind of team, where we're at, what the kind of matchup is, and obviously we're like a mid-tier team as well. So this is one of those games where I'd like to see a team down, and then the fact that it's the New England Patriots, I want you down bad.
Yeah.
Like I hope you got nothing.
We need some payback, all right?
I wish you didn't even have the top draft pick going for you. You're just at that middle part where you're just like, do we win or do we want to lose? Like that way, you can question what the players are even doing on the field, just seeing that as New England, our old rivalry, because I don't even want to call it a rivalry anymore. It was barely a rivalry when it was one, but so yes, the fact that it's the Patriots and they're down, I want to keep kicking them while they're down. I keep kicking. I want you to stay down. Man. You can sit there until you forget about the 6 Super Bowl rings, and then you can start back over. For all I care about New England. Yeah, just like Trev said, I was going to say the running game, but obviously I think that's going to be something that Bill Belichick is going to try and take away. I think he always likes to show you what you aren't necessarily good at. A touchdown Gators. We needed that. Sorry, everybody.
For those of y'all that don't know,
Trev is at LSU.
We got ongoing rivalry right here.
Yeah, and I'm a Gator fan. I told Trev if they blow us out, we ain't friends no more. So, shout out to the Gators for keeping this thing close because I didn't think it was going to be very close at all.
The game in the third.
But yeah, I just think Bill Belichick is going to come in. He's going to want to specifically stop the run, play man to man, make Gardner Minshew beat us with his arm. So I think that's what we'll be looking forward to in this matchup. But just like you said, I'd love to see us establish that run and get back to it. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that going. So I hope we can, but that's what I'm kind of looking forward to there.
And this is something I worry about too. I mentioned trap game earlier. So Nathan and Dave both comment J.C. Jackson didn't make the trip with the Patriots, and then Christian Gonzalez. And then Christian Gonzalez is out as well. So like two of their starting corners or top corners, however you want to look at them, not in the game. So as a casual fan, your mind immediately goes, oh, well, the wide receiver should have a big day. However, I don't give a damn what their record is. The New England Patriots are coached by Bill Belichick, who might be the greatest defensive mind who's ever coached a football game. All right.
Make you play left-handed.
Yeah. So there's not a moment where I'm looking at this game going, oh, well, so-and-so is out and so-and-so is out. So obviously Pittman's going to have 150. Downs is going to have 2 touchdowns. Like that's not how I'm looking at this. I am fully concerned about what they're going to throw at us defensively. Again, not really worried about their offense so much. We just have to play well enough that we're not letting them just drive down the field. But that's been a problem for us all year. So hopefully that's been addressed. But that's an us thing. What I'm worried about is what they can do defensively, even without their guys out there, Judon, Gonzalez, Jackson. I understand they're not out there. It's still Bill Belichick. And I'm sure if anyone is hearing all this shit that they're saying about him, it's Bill Belichick. And what would be the most Bill thing to do but say, oh, you motherfuckers want to talk about me? All right, cool. I'm going to make sure this offense doesn't get a yard on us. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about it. I think we still win this game. I don't think it's a blowout.
Trev, I got bad news for you, bro. Y'all just fumbled the kick return, dog.
Don't tell me that. I don't even have the game up. I don't even have the game up, bro.
So just like Trev said, I hate to, call this like one of those games where it's like, oh, New England was weak or whatever. Just like kind of how we did with New Orleans, or maybe how I figured the Cleveland Browns would be, just because of how bad their offense would be. But I personally think this is one of those games where I think that we can take advantage. I think like this is kind of just how I see that Cleveland game. Obviously, you got Bill Belichick, and he's one of the best game planners that you've ever really seen or have played against. But he doesn't have the talent.
No,
it's just the players just aren't there. So unless we make somebody look better than what they should be, they don't have a Myles Garrett. So I don't think we should give them the light of day. I think this should be one of those games. Players might be a little rusty. We're traveling to Germany, so hopefully that doesn't mess with them at all. But this is one of those games where I think that Steichen can take advantage, just like he did with Cleveland. We played one hell of a game. And like I said, they don't have a Myles Garrett to tear the game apart on us. So I think this should be one of those games like we played against the Carolina Panthers. Like Mac Jones, we've played against him before. And he had a decent game, but we picked him off. We were able to get to him, get some sacks and stuff like that. So it's just one of those situations that I really think that we should be able to take advantage of and really be able to dominate this team. I do want to say here real quick, because I know we were getting into this matchup real big. Josh was saying, I can't wait for us to get Jelani Woods back. Damon is one of the guys that's not really feeling this comment here. I know he's not here to personally speak on it right now, but he thinks that it's got to be something at some point where we get this guy back, or it might have been Matt, one of them. I know it was Matt or Damon, one of them. That just like we need to get the guy. But just like Trev said, J.C. Jackson being out, he hasn't been playing well. Like if you look at
ever since he got paid,
like if you go check the Coles podcast. Rick Venturi, like he hit what he was about to say before he even started his game plan to beat New England is literally his first comments were about to be was target J.C. Jackson. Like that's how bad he's been playing.
Damn,
so
I don't know that.
Yeah, so the J.C. Jackson not playing is actually something that doesn't really benefit us too well. But Gonzalez is out, and so like I said, like this team, I'm not going to sit here and break down everybody. Like I haven't got a chance to watch film this week. They don't, but I just know that they don't have a ton of talent right now. This is one of those games that we should be able to take advantage of. And Bill Belichick just doesn't have the players that he had in the past. And so this is really one of those games that I think we need to take advantage of.
I think really like what worries me is our Colts for the past few years have been notorious for just playing to the level of competition that's in front of us. We play a great team like the Kansas City Chiefs last year, and we beat them for no reason, right? But then we play a terrible team, and we play down to their level more often than not. So it's one of those things where it's just like you never know what to expect from the Cardiac Colts. And just this team being what it is, Bill Belichick being who he is, and just the nature of the whole thing, there's too much noise around it for me to say, yeah, I think we just roll this team over. Just because I think way too many people are just, Patriots are dead. Bill Belichick's out of there. He's going to get fired, so on and so forth. It's way too many like nodding heads and everyone agreeing with each other that I don't believe it. Maybe I'm just being superstitious. God damn. Maybe I was being superstitious, but I don't have this as a blowout. I think the Colts win, but I think it's like 21-17, something like that.
Save it for the end, bro. Save it for the end.
I'll give us a little more credit. I think we can score on them a little bit more than that, but I don't see a blowout. It's an echo chamber of all this. The Patriots suck, and I understand they suck, but too many people are saying they suck, so now I'm worried about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump through these real quick. So it looks like Brandon Gooden saying here Taylor's going to have a big day.
Hope so.
Nathan is asking, will Downs even play? Dave Stewart is saying nobody we play is a gimme. But if we play well and don't turn the ball over, we should win. And Chris is saying 28-10 is his prediction.
I like it.
I'm assuming Colts. So yeah, first of all, Brandon, appreciate you coming in. I haven't seen your name in here before, so if you are a new commenter, appreciate you coming in. If not, welcome back.
Thank you, bro.
Either way, thank you. But that was also what Trev is saying. I think we definitely need to get the running game going. If not him having a big day, then both Taylor and Moss splitting for a big day, one way or another, make sure that running game is moving. Nathan saying, will Downs even play? I'm not sure. I think he's a true game time decision, just like Zaire Franklin was last week. Zaire Franklin was limited practice on Thursday and a full practice on Friday. So I'm assuming he will play. And then Dave, totally agree there. Nobody is a gimme. But, I mean, at this point in time, what we can say about this Colts team is they're the only team in the NFL that have scored 20-plus points in every single week this season. Every single week.
Yeah.
We scored a total of 20-plus points only 3 times in 17 games last year.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is a different team, and if we come to play our ball, the game that this team can play, like we haven't had one complete game this season. If we can manage to pull one complete game, this would be that score that
Right.
Chris is saying down here at the bottom, 28-10 in dominant fashion, and it won't be too many more pick sixes. It'll just be holding the team down, and just like I said, keeping them down, maybe a panic score at the end just to give them 10. And we look like a team that's well on our way to being in this playoff conversation.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to talk about the impact of a coaching hire. That stat that you brought up is all you need, man. We couldn't score to save our lives last year, and this year, without our starting quarterback, without Jonathan Taylor through the first few weeks, with O-line injuries, wide receiver injuries, tight end injuries, and this team is the only offense that is putting up 20 every week. Now, granted, like Dave says here, last week it took 2 pick sixes for 20. It was not the offense, so it's kind of ironic. But also, that was the first week through 9 games that we've seen the offense not just kind of do whatever they want. So this is why we talked about we need to see the run game get going. We need to see. We just need to not be concerned, basically, because last week it was a little bit of like, hey, man, why can't we just run the ball against these guys? Why can't we throw all over them? They're a terrible team. We should be able to do what we want. And we couldn't really do that on offense. We kind of just managed the game. It was kind of a boring game offensively, if we're being real. So that's why this week we really want to see a return to form, just light them up offensively. So hopefully we can do that, man.
Yeah, Dave, I totally get where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like when you don't really need your offense, you're not necessarily saying you have to, go get it. Like Shane had even spoke about it. He was like the defense was carrying the whole game, so he didn't feel the need to be aggressive, and try and take those kind of plays, and try and force a score or anything like that with the chance of mistakes. Because when you have to play aggressive, that's when you're most likely going to make your mistakes. And so I don't want to totally dismiss your point. Oh my God, Jaden Daniels going again. Wow,
he's a freak, man. He's not human. He's not human.
So yeah, I do want to say I'm not trying to totally dismiss your point, Dave, because I know Matt was on the same side that you're saying. He's saying that he did say that part of the offense did worry him because he still wants to see some aggressive to be able to put a team like a Carolina away offensively, put up some points, just let them know like this game is over. So I'm not totally trying to dismiss your point, but I just see it as like they didn't really see a need to put any more aggression to it and just kind of run the ball out and get this game put away.
Well, and I can appreciate too if Shane had. I didn't hear that conference. I don't usually listen to all those, but I can appreciate that having a coach that has kind of a sense for the game like that, because understanding that if we go too aggressive, Gardner's going to play a little bit of hero ball, and when Gardner plays hero ball, he usually has a turnover. He's a solid quarterback, and we've said this every week. He is a solid quarterback when he just lets the game come to him, takes what the defense gives him. That's where he's at his best. When he goes and tries to extend plays and tries to make a Mahomes-like play, turnover 75% of the time. So I don't hate that. I can appreciate that having a sense for the game. I just like to see us put up those points offensively again, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I think we'll get back
Unless
to.
You back up, baby.
Yeah, man, they got us. That boy Jaden Daniels, man, killed us. Ran right through us. Brittany Grismore saying here, run the damn ball. Period. We got a complete O-line back for the first time in forever, so just use them. Yeah, agree. I think we all want to see this running game get back to what it was versus I forgot exactly which team it was, but I remember we had about 23 passes and 40 rushes in that game, and it was one of the most complete games we played on offense. So totally agree. Get back to using that offensive line.
Yeah, and Braden Smith is huge in that too. He's always been good in the run game. We've been lethal there in general with a fully healthy offensive line. Obviously, it's something that Quentin Nelson excels at with pulling the guard and just creating those run lanes. But Braden Smith's a big part of that. Ryan Kelly, obviously, a big part of that. So having all these guys healthy is I agree. You hit the nail on the head. It's huge for our run game. As talented as Taylor and Moss are, without those lanes open and without those guys getting the blocks and making those holes for them and helping them get to the second level, all that talent is for nothing because they're just going to run against the D-line every play, right? So having that O-line healthy is huge for us.
Absolutely. And just like Chris Kaiser is saying here, a rookie QB, he was bound for a mistake, and he made three of them, three costly ones. And then I wouldn't say it's far off from Mac Jones because when you got a bad team, you're also bound to make mistakes. And that's what this Patriots team is. This is not the Patriots of old. Yes, they do have Bill Belichick, but this is a team that we are fully capable of and should be capable of taking advantage of. So that's another reason why I say, I'd rather have us be some more optimistic than pessimistic in the situation. Because just like we talked about before, I don't think any team is a gimme. Obviously, this is the NFL. Anybody can come out and beat you. We saw, what was it? Most people will say us beating Baltimore.
Yeah.
Most people will say Denver beating the Chiefs,
Patriots beating the Bills.
So the Patriots beating the Bills. So
Broncos beating the Chiefs.
No game
any given Sunday. Given Sunday, anybody can win. But
exactly, anybody can win. But if you are a good team, the difference is you consistently beat teams you're supposed to beat. That's the difference in the NFL.
Yeah, you'll have those one-off games because it is the freaking NFL. Everyone on that field has been like the best from their hometown, their high school, their college, so on and so forth. Like these are the best of the best. Make no mistake about it. It's NFL. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, if you're a team that's expecting to be in the playoff race, and right now it looks like we could be in that race as long as we take care of business in Munich, Germany, I believe tomorrow. We're fully in that race. So, we need to come out firing tomorrow and just roll these guys over. They're a team that should be their season over with already. So it would make, I think, every Colts fan just absolutely giddy with joy if we just go ahead and roll them over and finish their season for them.
Got to. I think, it kind of sucks, when you're like a fan of a team that you hate because you never want to see somebody get fired if you're not like a completely crappy person or whatnot. But I can't totally say that I wouldn't be absolutely ecstatic if we were the team that got Bill Belichick and just pretty much shut down the Patriots dynasty as a whole and sent them to be one of these teams where you're searching for a coach, you're searching for a quarterback.
Yeah. Welcome to the gutter with the rest of us.
Man, it's just
fitting, man. It's fitting if Bill's story comes to an end against us. It'd be perfect. All right. He caused us so much heartbreak, so much pain over the years, beat the crap out of us. Couldn't tell you how many times. All right. Stopped Andrew Luck from getting to a Super Bowl. All right. I'll never forget that. Shout out Deflategate. Man, it's a long time coming. So if we can go ahead and just step on their neck tomorrow, roll them over, I would love to see 63-0. Just anything along those lines, get him out of there and the dynasty for good. So you don't even have to worry about the boogeyman in the closet, Bill Belichick figuring it out and creating another dynasty. Just get him out of there. I'm all for it. Let's shut him down.
Exactly. I'd love to be the ones that put him away. I thought we were going to be with Frank Wright this past week. I wasn't really too excited about that one.
Yeah, that would kind of hurt a little bit.
I thought it was going to be the end, but I don't really have too much empathy for the Patriots, man. You guys got 6 Super Bowls.
You'll be all right. You can suck for a little while.
Exactly. Like I don't. That's why I just don't get it. Like, you guys got this standard that you want to act like you're holding to, but guess what? When it comes to the real world, everybody gonna suck at some point. It's just your turn,
dude. At the end of the day, like the Colts are a very successful franchise in the NFL, and we have won Super Bowl in 2006. I was 7 years old the last time our team held the trophy. Now I'm a grown ass man in the Army, freaking been deployed twice. Like I've gone through a whole life of things, and we still haven't won another one. So I don't want to hear it for the Patriots right now. They've got 6. All right, they can go through every other year and look at their Super Bowl highlights. So no, I have zero empathy for them. I'm glad they suck right now.
You was a baby.
I was young, man. I was young. 99 baby, bro.
man. You got me feeling old, bro. I was like 12, 13 then at
But you
that
know what?
time.
The Colts need to give us another Super Bowl run that we can remember. Because I'll tell you what, I'd be lying if I sat here and told you I remember anything about beating the Bears in '06. I don't.
Man, I tell you what though, like I really feel like if AR can stay healthy, he catch it. Oh, talk about I can tell you what now though, from what I see from Anthony Richardson, if this guy can stay healthy, it won't be long before we can get back. I noticed AFC is a treacherous territory and our division already looks like something, but I honestly think that we can get there if he stay healthy. We can continue to build this team. Chris Ballard been bringing in some talent. I think we can get it going. But it starts with tomorrow.
You know what's ironic too is actually like when the schedule came out, and I don't remember if we talked about it on that episode way back when in the summertime, but I know personally I looked at the Patriots and I circled that as a loss. Reason being Bill Belichick's record against rookie quarterbacks. So ironically, even though it sucks that Richardson's out, obviously, and we don't get to see our franchise quarterback, nothing about that is good, right? However, it does make me wonder if we have a better chance of winning strictly because Bill Belichick has been, for some reason, so good against rookie quarterbacks through his entire career that now having a vet back there, it's like, hey, this might be the one game I can say that where Gardner might be the better choice over AR. But obviously, I want AR back, man. Don't get me wrong at all. I want that dude back there slinging it. So can't wait for next year to see him again.
Totally feel where you're coming from, and I actually had that same thought process myself. Bill Belichick just typically doesn't lose against rookies, so I was kind of thinking the same thing to myself. But as this season kind of went on, and you kind of seen how things started shaking out, if we had AR, I think this team
steamroll them
would be absolutely terrifying for New England. So personally, I do agree, like from the start, thinking you have a rookie.
But once we saw what AR had, and he was not this raw prospect that they were selling us. Like that dude is sharp. He's ready to go.
And that's what I'm saying. So even me being a Gators fan and watching Anthony Richardson for a full year, it was kind of still like, what is he going to be in the NFL?
Yeah.
He's got this, he's got that. It's like, I want to see.
Yeah.
And within 2 games,
you never know how that transition will go.
Exactly. And within 2 games, I knew.
Yeah.
Like within 2 games, I knew. I knew he's our guy. We were set from there. So it's just one of those situations where it's just like we just got to keep him healthy. And I think this could be a long run.
Dude,
this could be a long run for us to keep just building this team, getting this thing back to where we should be. He just gives us an element that it's just different. It's just different, and it's not even like a Josh Allen type feel. Like he's more cerebral than I even thought. Being as a passer, and like maybe his percentages don't necessarily say it, but I'm like, you watching this guy, he's giving you 2 touchdowns quickly. Yeah. I mean, like quickly.
Dude, my only critique, I think, through the few games that we got to see him, other than obviously just like taking hits, and it's like, hey, come on, man, you're big as shit. You got to be able to take that hit. He had like a couple overthrows, but that's like rookie shit. You know what I mean? Like that's something that you expect from a rookie. Not worried at all. I think if anything, the fact that this guy is going to be rehabbing his shoulder and obviously throwing a lot as he gets healthy again, I think we're going to see a level of Anthony Richardson next year that people are not ready for. So if anything, Colts fans, be encouraged, because the fact that we're 4-5 right now with our backup quarterback, which granted Gardner is a high-end backup quarterback, but he's still a freaking backup, right? He's not a franchise quarterback. We have a franchise quarterback who's in rehab right now. So if anything, be encouraged that we're all the way in it, man. We are still in a playoff race. Was it week 10 now? Through mid-season, and I mean, I don't know what more to say than that. Be encouraged. Like it's easy to get frustrated when we drop these close games and we don't get everything done. But at the end of the day, we're all the way in it, and we don't have half of the playmakers that we need out there. So we're on the right track.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So
as LSU gets the ball back, baby.
Man,
reverse.
they called it incomplete. That was a terrible call. That
I
ref
know. I missed the replay. I couldn't tell for
that,
myself.
that ref needs to be fired. He need glasses, some basic eye surgery. You got Jameis Winston out there calling games. Boy, can you see? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Just hit us for a 50-yard bomb.
Malik Neighbors, man. I tell you what, that guy's going to be a superstar in the league.
But yeah,
Sorry,
man,
folks, we're getting sidetracked with our rivalry.
Yeah, this game started late. But yeah, so it's just one of those situations where I think that AR is going to come in. He could be even better. As long as that shoulder gets back right. It obviously was a successful surgery. He's joining the team back this week.
Awesome.
So just awesome to see. That was actually Brian Thomas.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it sure was.
But yeah, so it's just one of those situations where you got your guy. You start building around your guy. You go out and get some top tier receiver or cornerback, wherever you think this team needs to be building, headed in the next direction. Just can't wait to see when he comes back. But either way, I think Gardner Minshew should be able to take care of the Patriots on Sunday. We just need to come out, have our game plan ready, no turnovers, obviously, to get things done.
And I'll say too, man, I believe I said it last week or the week before. I don't remember when, but moving forward, right? If you look at the rest of our schedule, I think the Bengals are a tough opponent, obviously. I believe the Steelers are on there. That's a tough opponent. Hit or miss, though, because you don't really know what to make of that offense.
Mike
They're usually
Tomlin.
terrible, but Mike Tomlin's a great
just like Bill Belichick.
Exactly. So again, and obviously historically, we do not have great success against the Steelers. So you circle that one as like, hey, that's probably a tough matchup. But beyond those two teams, it is a very, very winnable schedule. So if anything, Colts fans, be fully expecting to be in this race as long as we take care of business tomorrow. The road is paved for us. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of winnable games coming up on our schedule, especially coming off a bye week, getting all our guys healthy. Obviously, we've had a couple frustrating games in the recent weeks, but I think now is the time to get excited for Colts fans because we might be heating up here soon, man. We might go on a run here. That's my prediction.
Third easiest remaining schedule left, and that's touchdown. That's LSU.
Yes, sir.
Third easiest remaining schedule left. So we gotta see the bright side of it, man. You gotta look at that and what we got. And just like Trev was naming them off, I mean, outside of Pittsburgh and the Bengals, there really ain't
it's a lot of just so teams.
It's right in our alley, right where we need to be able to get some momentum going and then get AR back next year.
Yes, sir.
But what do you got, Trev? Let's go with keys of the game, man. What are you looking for in this matchup? What are your 3 keys for the Indianapolis Colts to get this win in this game?
Keys of the game, man, it's a little bit similar to what I said about the New Orleans game, where I want to frustrate that offense early because anytime you see a team that has had these issues over the year and that they're constantly trying new stuff, they're constantly trying to figure it out offensively. If you can just get behind that O-line and get that quarterback's jersey dirty 3 or 4 times, even in the first half, or just constantly pressure him and get in his face and yell and talk shit to him and just frustrate everybody on that team, it's going to go downhill for him. So my key is pressure early, force 3 and outs, force sacks, but defensively, just pressure early. Like we have to start this. Ideally, I'd like to see a donut at halftime, but I understand they might get 3 or whatever, but I don't think we can let up a touchdown in the first half. I think we got to just smoke them defensively. Offensively, my key would be, even though I said earlier, having those cornerbacks out doesn't mean that we're just going to have a great game throwing the ball. I think just clean passing, if that makes sense. Like, not like Dave says here, limit turnovers. Forget limit. How about no turnovers? Can't have it, man. I would look at Michael Pittman to have a really big game tomorrow. That'd be my key offensively. It just feels right. I don't know why, but Michael Pittman all the way.
Yeah, my 3 keys to the game. So it's going to be pretty close to what Dave's here, but I want to say a little bit of opposite. So, number 1 for me is going to be establish the run. I think that needs to be a pretty big thing for us because of the fact that I don't want us to, and I don't feel we can be one-dimensional and try and beat this team passing the ball completely. So that's number 1, establish the run. Number 2, is going to be create turnovers. I think
Yeah.
in this game,
Strip
we
sack.
need to give our offense some short fields against this team. Mac Jones is not the best passer, and then he also doesn't have the best O line. So this is situations where we can jump some routes on some bad receivers, some not very good receivers. Our defense should have the advantage, and a terrible offensive line. This offensive line is not playing very good right now. I know we've played some bad offensive lines like New Orleans and like the Rams we're coming off some bad games and we didn't take advantage, but we have to. We have to keep what we did last week, just like Dave is saying here, pressure Mac with 4. We need to create that same pressure we had with 4 last week. Put the pressure on Mac Jones again, and force some turnovers. And then number 3 for me is going to be force Mac Jones to beat you.
Yeah.
Like he should not be able to beat you. This is the same type of situation where we thought we could take advantage of Derek Carr with, but the situation there is we let Rasheem Shaheed kill us. We need to force Mac Jones to beat us, and that will easily force us to get some turnovers. So that would be my 4: establish the run, create turnovers, and force Mac Jones to beat us. Those would be my 3. Dave had on here: pressure Mac with 4, stop New England run, limit turnovers. That's going to be another one too in there: stop New England run.
And I love how you said that too, because it makes me think like early in the year, right? We were talking a lot about this front 7 being one of the best, if not the best in football. And the past couple weeks, as good as they are, they have not gotten that same pressure, right? They have not.
Absolutely.
We've still been good against the run. Don't get me wrong. I'm not burning my guys. Still been good against the run, but we haven't got the same pressure that we saw early in the year where we're like, yo, these guys are next level, right? So if anything, I agree completely. I want to see that tomorrow. And where we failed at that against New Orleans, because that's been kind of like the highlight game for us this year in my mind of like, we should have got it done and we didn't, right? So that's been the spotlight game for me in my mind. Yep. Where we didn't get it done against them is we didn't get that pressure, and it allowed him to take these deep shots knowing we don't have the bodies back there in the secondary. We don't have the coverage in those outside corners. They're not they're traffic cones. Like I hate to go against my guys, but we do not have the corners. We all know that, right? So we have to get that pressure early. We have to force them to think they do not have time to make those throws, because if we let them make those throws, Tony Brown's going to give up a big play. It's going to happen. Sorry about it. But if we get in his face early, we force them to realize, hey, we don't have time for these deep shots. If we want to try to take them, we can't. So we have to run the ball. We have to do whatever else. That's not going to work against us anyways, because our front 7 is built to stop that shit. But yeah, pressure early is so key, because we got to light these guys up before they start taking these deep shots. Otherwise,
I do want to say that we got Darrell Baker Jr., so it shouldn't be Tony Brown. But I do want to say, just like we don't have the secondary outside of Jalen Jones, who I think has been very underrated.
He played well.
My dude's been a dog. He's been a dog since he's came in.
6th round pick, I think. 6th round, 7th round pick. And he's balling.
5th or 6th. I can't remember.
It was a day 3 pick, but he's played well out of Texas A&M.
He's been a dog. But just like we will have to use Darrell Baker Jr., New England doesn't have the receivers. So if anybody they're the receivers that they do have that you were looking forward to facing and thinking maybe this guy can have a big day, he's hurt.
Right.
Can't remember his name right off the top of my head, just because they're not really big name guys, and it's been a long week for me. I ain't gonna lie to you folks.
They got like Juju and who else?
Juju is also hurt, if I'm remembering correctly. So they literally just like us, a bunch of undrafted guys that they have to run as well. So they don't have the receivers, and this is why I'm saying force Mac Jones to beat you and go from there. So he shouldn't be able to do it. He doesn't have the receivers to do it. This should be a complete game that we should be able to take advantage of, even if this game has to come down to be like 12-8 for all I care. Like it just shouldn't be a game where we should let New England get anything offensively.
Yeah, I'm with you. You get me hyped up, man, because in my mind, I'm like, this is probably going to be a close game because just who Bill Belichick is. But you know what? Like, it might not be.
Yeah. I
don't want to be overconfident.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from, because it's kind of that thing where we always get humbled back down to earth anytime that we think that the Colts can do something good or over the
can
top
do what
and
we
whatnot,
should do.
and then something happens. And so it's one of those situations where I just look at this team and I'm telling you, like, on tape, they're not good. On statistically, they're not good. Name wise, on paper, they're not good. Like, this is unless we just completely come in sleepwalking. This is a game. Like,
it's on us.
It's on us to lose this game, which we should not do. So I don't want to get any Colts fans too hyped just because, obviously, like I said, this is the NFL and anything can happen. This is just one of those games that if we just come with this much preparation and like ready to play, like, we should be able to take care of them pretty mightily. And if we come with our full game ready to play, we should dominate from every single point. I don't see a point where they're better.
Yeah, red zone should not be showing this game by halftime because usually they stop showing the games that are blowouts. You know what I mean? So hopefully Scott Hansen is not talking about us after like the second, third quarter because we should be up by so much they shouldn't even care about it.
That was a first down. That was the first. We needed that, or the game was over. It was over if we didn't get that.
Well, DeMarco, what you got for our final score predictions for tomorrow?
So, I'm going final score prediction. I kind of like where Chris Kaiser was going. Obviously, I do want to actually, before I say this, I want to give a shout out to my guys at Horseshoe Mob. Who was that? That's Chris Jackson. I don't want to say. I'm saying your name wrong. I apologize, but I do believe it's Chris Jackson. My guy, Josh Senior.
Shout out.
And then who was the last one? Geez, I'm blanking on his name right now. I'm terrible with names. Hate to forget your name, but Horseshoe Mob is the page. They came out, they made their predictions, and all of them had us holding the Panthers under 20. And we give up 20 to everybody. So shout out to them.
Go check them out.
But yeah, shout out to them. They got a podcast. I believe it comes on every Wednesday. But yeah, shout out to them. So I'm gonna keep that trend and go the same thing, but this time I'm gonna go 31-13 Colts.
I like it.
I feel like we should come ready to play. I think we dominate 31-13 Colts.
I like it a lot. I'm gonna go a little bit more conservative. I'm gonna say 27 to like I'll say 27-14, but that doesn't even feel right because I don't know if they can get 2 touchdowns. So maybe like 13 because they probably get some field goals. But yeah, I like that. I think for sure we beat them by 2 touchdowns. Or at least, again, we should beat them by 2 touchdowns. I hate saying for sure because every time I say for sure, I feel like my boys let me down. But just looking at this game analytically and just understanding how it should go any given Sunday, obviously. But we should beat these guys by 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 27-13 final score prediction.
Yeah, I'm thinking even a conservative game should be 18-12 Colts. I mean, I just
even if it's like an ugly defensive game.
Yeah, like I just think that's where where both teams are trending.
Either way, either way, I cannot see the New England Patriots scoring 2 touchdowns on us. I can't see it. The only way, I'll say this, the only way I can see it is if we don't do what I was talking about earlier, where we get pressure early and we allow them to take these deep shots because that is the one spot that 100% the Colts can be exploited. So if we let them take deep shots early and they get them, then we're in trouble. Then it's all of a sudden like, what are we going to do about this, you know? So
yeah,
that's
the one person I will give a shout out to on that team is Ramondre Stevenson because he's been a guy that's been kind of lethal and whatnot and been a player for them still. I do hate to wish that because I got him in 2 fantasy leagues, so I hope he get a touchdown just to give me a little something.
He can be there one. He can be there one.
31-13, my prediction. We got another prediction in here. He's I'm not gonna try and pronounce your name because I don't want to sound completely retarded. But he's going 23-13 Patriots. So don't know if you're a Patriots fan and whatnot, but holding the Colts
maybe on Madden, I guess.
Getting that. I mean, I hope you don't put any money on that one, but yeah, I mean, shout out to you if you're right. I just don't see it happening.
If you're gonna bet that on DraftKings or FanDuel, instead I can post my Cash App. You can just send the money to me. Either way, you're gonna lose it. So let's just do it that way. Anyways, yeah, man. I mean, I see a handily Colts victory, but I don't want to be too overconfident because anyone that regularly watch this show knows I came in so overconfident for the Saints game because I just felt like we were on the right trend, they were on the wrong trend. We should roll them over, and none of that happened. So
again,
any given Sunday, but
again, I thought our defense was going to play so much better that game. I think that was the most disappointing part for me.
Yeah,
because like you didn't expect the defense to give up those big plays. I mean, maybe chunks at a time, but
not all day.
But the wide open touchdowns is the part that was like, no way.
But again, right, and just coming back to the theme of this episode of did we overreact? I believe we overreacted a little bit to that loss, as disappointing as it was. And I said before, it was kind of like the spotlight game of the year because it was like, hey, I believe I said before the game, hey, this is our test, right? This is where we see where we're at as a team, and we didn't get the job done. So now we have a chance to get back to 500, set the season back on track, and go from there into the bye week on an upward trend. So it's time, man. It's time to fix that mistake and get back right.
Absolutely. So it looks like Matt didn't make it on here with us, but we're going to call this one an episode. So shout out to everybody who came through. Appreciate all of you guys. Hopefully we can pull this out and get a win, but shout out to everybody who came through. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Trev, for waiting around.
Yes, sir.
And we catch you guys as we do every Saturday with another episode of Kicking with the Crew. Appreciate all of y'all. And as always.
Hey, and wait, just once again, real quick, I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all who served. Can't appreciate you enough, man. You all are heroes to me. That's why I joined myself. And I don't remember if we said in the morning, but shout out ZTV for broadcasting us every week, man. We love working with you guys. Appreciate it.
Shout out ZTV. Shout out to Coach Kicking with the Crew. Appreciate all the vets out there. Shout out to you, Trev. Appreciate you, my brother. And as always, go Colts.
Go Colts.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes.